Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Clan. Today we'll be talking about how Hedera may become the epicenter for the cannabis industry. On the 28th of October, the official Hedera Twitter page tweeted details in regards to the decentralized cannabis herbarium and licensing platform Cannabis, launching its free-to-use web platform on Hedera. The tweet detailed how Cannabis will operate in a similar fashion to music streaming services by treating cannabis breeders as artists, cannabis strains as songs, and flowering cannabis plants as the equivalent of a play of a song. Cannabis breeders around the world have spent years developing new strains of cannabis. However, there is limited availability of intellectual property protections for these strains. The lack of intellectual property surrounding different strains of cannabis, which have been developed over the years, has led to uncertainties in the navigation of the patent system surrounding cannabis strains. These uncertainties has led to the vast majority of cannabis strains not having any form of meaningful protection in regards to copyright and their patented nature. With cannabis use becoming legalized in a number of Western nations, namely states in the US such as California, cannabis breeders will have the potential to promote their strains of cannabis to the overarching market. The newly created and released Cannabis DApp will address the problem of a lack of protections in the patented nature of cannabis strains, whereby the DApp will allow cannabis breeders to register their cannabis strains for free, using time-stamped physical plant samples in tamper-evident containers. Cannabis growers can actively search and request permission to grow specific strains from breeders logged into the Cannabis DApp. Cannabis will actively arrange the delivery of the cannabis plant material to the respective grower. Cannabis' ultimate goal is for cannabis growers to be rewarded for their work, and cannabis growers will be able to verify their harvests as genuine using time-stamped physical samples. Cannabis will also provide benefits to consumers, whereby Cannabis will provide the benefit of increases in supply chain transparency and increases in the overall selection of varying cultivated strains of cannabis. Due to Cannabis' direct leveraging of the Hedera consensus service, user data will be protected and invoices for orders will be generated confidentially. In response to this partnership, Hedera's Chief Marketing Officer, Christian Haskell, stated, "Intellectual property rights is a domain that has long been in need of the computational trust that distributed ledgers, which the Hedera network in particular can provide. We commend Cannabis in their innovative approach to tackling the challenge of IP rights for growers, and believe their architecture can serve as a model for those in their industry and others who want to support creators and create transparency and ownership models for intellectual property of all kinds." Cannabis' direct use of the Hedera consensus service adds to a growing list of organizations and dApps leveraging Hedera hashgraph for their activities. With Hedera's hashgraph technology providing immutability and the highest degree of security amongst proof-of-stake DLT initiatives, data logs, be it different strains of cannabis to breeder or grower details, will be stored in a secure manner. This factor will provide overarching protection to user data and will ensure patents associated with varying strains of cannabis cannot be overruled or changed. Hedera's innate quality of offering an extensive degree of scalability, whereby the network is able to process over 10,000 transactions per second and the network is able to achieve finality in seconds, will make the network ideal in being able to actively log a multitude of datasets at a given time. With more dApps and DeFi applications actively positioning themselves on the Hedera network, more hbar transactions will invariably arise. hbar transactions will act as gas for transaction validation to arise. Thus, increases in transactions associated with data logging will lead to increases in the demand for hbar tokens. Increases in the demand for hbar tokens in this instance will lead to synonymous increases in the price of the token, especially over the long run. Transactions arising on Cannabis will add to the over 1.7 billion transactions which have already occurred on the Hedera network, and will further contribute to Hedera being the most widely utilized DLT platform in the world. What are your thoughts on this new partnership? Will Hedera become the go-to platform for enterprises? Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.